Hello everyone, this is Max here at Music Lessons 101, and today we're going to work on a Johnny Cash tune called I Walk the Line. I thought this would be a great lesson to do because it would serve two purposes. It will help you with your walk-ups and your walk-downs, and plus it's a pretty iconic song. This was written by Johnny Cash in like 1956. And even though it's fairly simple as far as the lyrics go, it's pretty ingenious. So, and he just kind of wrote this when he was touring. I think he was like 24 years old, and he wrote this when he was touring with Elvis. I think Elvis was like 20 years old at the time, and so he was opening for Elvis. So, anyways, a lot of history on this song. It's pretty cool. I never realized that about it. So, anyways, what we're going to do on this song is I'm going to show you the chords and some of the rhythms and the walk-ups and the walk-downs. And I've got some tabs and everything that I'll put up for you as well. And this is a pretty clever songwriting structure, I have to admit. I was reading something that they said that Johnny Cash was playing his tape backwards, and and it kind of created this the idea for this song. So I think that's pretty interesting. It is ingenious how he changes keys, and I will put the chord charts up. I put the chords in each key, and I put them in a way that maybe you could kind of look at that a little in a different way and see how that how it ties into each chord. But yeah, it's pretty ingenious. So the song is actually done in the key of F, Capo on the first fret, but for this lesson we're just going to do it in the key of E. Okay, it's in the key of F, Capo on the first fret. So the reason we're going to learn it in E is because it's a little bit easier to see your walk-ups and your walk-downs. And I think if you get it down with the open strings, it's going to be so much easier for you to put that in other songs when you're playing, just down here on the neck on your open position. Once you can get it in the key of E, it'll be a piece of cake to move it up to the key of F. Okay, so, and then plus a lot of people may not have a capo handy. So, okay, so the chords, we're basically going to have your basic open chords. It starts off in the key of A, and we're going to have the three main chords in the key of A, and then it's going to go to the key of E. We're going to have three main chords in the key of E, and then it's going to go to the key of D. Okay, so let me show you the intro first, and then we'll dive into the walk-ups and the walk-downs. So he starts off in A. So he's coming in, he's kind of thinking in the key of A, you have your A, D is your 4 chord, and your E is your 5 chord, okay? So what this song is doing is basically starting on the 5 chord, walking up from the 5 chord, which is the E. Also, one thing I should mention too is I got most of the information for this video off of his live version that he's doing. I can't remember where he was playing, in Denmark, I think. The other thing that's interesting about this is you'll see, depending on which version you watch, and there's like different guitar players on each one, they'll do the walk-ups in different places. But I like the live version the best. The guitar player is doing some pretty cool stuff on that. Okay, so what we're doing, we're starting off with your open E string. Then first finger, second fret, okay, the low E string, and then your third finger is going to be on the 4th fret, okay, and your open A. Now the cool thing about this pattern is going to stay the same, okay, except for we'll just vary the strings. So this is already perfect if you're playing a song in the key of A. Strumming, we're just doing a Boom-Chicka, what they call a Boom-Chicka. I'm hitting the A, and as my string falls on the next string below, I just kind of let it go follow through. Like a lot of people go like this. Don't do that. Just hit the low A string, let it fall on the string next to the D, follow through, then E. Now my pick lands on the A, and I follow through. We're going to just do this as our basic strum for now, okay? get into the strumming a little bit later. So we have that walk up open, fret 2, fret 3. Now we're going to go into the D, because D is the 5 of A. We're going to do the exact same thing on your A string. Now we'll walk back down. See, so you can do this forward and in reverse. We'll walk down to the E. So he does this little part on the intro, and when he goes. Okay, so right there when they went to that B7th, that's the ingenious part of this right here. Because notice we're in the key of A doesn't have a B7th in it. So basically when he got to this, when they get to this E, they go to the B. If you look at your, it's easy to see here, here's your E. Right below it is the B, which is the 5. So they just went to the 5 of E. Okay, so now they're in the key of E. And in some versions they'll kind of vamp on this for a while, and then he'll come in singing. The live version, they just go straight into the singing, okay? So they just go right into the first verse. So let me do that for you slow on the intro. And like I said, I'll have I'll put some tablature up on this. But it's going to be... So that's the intro, and that's going to go into the B7th now, because we just basically changed keys. Okay, like I said, that was ingenious because he did the B7th. He went to the 5 of the E. Okay, now we're in the key of E. Your 3 chords in the key of E are E, A, and B7. Okay, and you can do this too, for the key of A. I've shown this in a lot of my other videos, but let's walk through this just real quickly. Key of A, you got your 1, 4, and 5. Okay, those are your 3 basic chords. And blues, you're gonna, it's kind of like playing blues really. So you have A, B, C, D, and E. That's your 1, 4, and 5. A, D, and E. Now when we go to the E, we have E, F, G, A, and B. So that's your E, A, and your B. Okay, and then when it goes to the key of D, D, E, F, G, and A, you have D, D, G, and A. Okay, so you have 3 chords you're playing, 3 chords you're playing with on this thing here. Sorry if my printer's making noise in the background. So you have 3 keys that you're playing in with this song here, and the way he goes into each one is by kind of going to the 5th of that key and transitioning. It's really smooth. It's really so cool the way it's done. Okay, so we have that intro. Then we go into the end on the E. Keep it close on this heart of mine. I keep my eyes wide. I'm not going to sing much of this. Now we go to A. On the walk-ups and the walk-downs, just do them, if you're just learning the song, just do them whenever you walk into the 4 chord or whatever. Just, you can kind of hear when it wants to go into the walk-up and the walk-down. So let me take that first verse. Now we can walk into the A. They go into so that's the first verse, and then they go into the key of A. Okay, so again, as far as those walk ups and walk downs, just do whatever feels right for you. I kind of like it when it goes to A. You want to do that there. If you walk down to the E, it doesn't really matter if you don't do it. Sounds just as good. But this one you need, when you get done with that first verse, you walk into that A. And then they kind of vamp on the A. Like you'll notice, like on a lot of the versions, they just, when they change that key, he'll do the little hum thing. Kind of to get the pitch in his head, I think, is what he's doing there. Okay, now we're on the second verse. I find it very easy to be true. So I'm just doing that strumming pattern that I showed you. Now we go into the D. So it's the same pattern. Back down. After the second verse, like we walked into the D, we did that same little walk up. Notice that nothing's changed as far as the note goes, okay? We just walked into the D, okay? And then and again, you can kind of vamp if you want to, kind of get the melody or get the So you're on the A. We're going to go into the third verse. So now I'm just hitting the D string and the A string below it. Get that note, the key in your head. As sure as night is dark and day is light. On the D, open E, F sharp, E, A, okay, so back down to A. So now we're going to be on the fourth verse. So now we're back to A. You got a way to keep me on your side. You got a way to keep me by your side. Last verse, they go back to the E. And that basically, the last verse just repeats the first verse. So that's the whole thing. It's actually pretty simple. It's just a matter of I'll put the lyrics and the chords up for you. It's just a matter of just remembering where it changes and all that good stuff. So let's see, what else can I show you on this? There's a few things as far as the strumming and the picking goes. Um, so if you want to do like the more advanced picking, kind of what they have going is in that live version, they have one guy kind of in the background is doing kind of like a Travis picking thing. So I'm kind of rusty at this. I haven't done this in quite a while. Okay, so you have one guy doing that in the background, then the guy on the electric guitar is doing a kind of a thing. Cool. If you want to do this, okay, so if you're a beginner, just stick with the straight. If you watch Johnny Cash, he's just kind of doing this kind of thing. So you're just doing the Boom-Chicka. So if you want to get the effect that the guitar player is playing, though, he's doing this. With a little bit of palm muting. So let me show that real slow. So it's just on the B. Maybe think of it kind of like and when you watch them play it live, there seems to be no rhyme or reason to it. I don't think he's really overthinking it, the guitar player that's playing it. So you can just kind of do that though, just like the Boom-Chicka. Do the first one, then and I'm kind of palm muting here. If you put your the palm of your hand right here on top of the bridge where it meets the strings, you get that. Because he's definitely doing palm muting on this note for sure. So the same thing when it goes into A. So you have this. So on the A, I'm kind of going up, I'm going to the string below it. So on the D, I would do this. Okay, so kind of like on your A chord, you're doing the root, the low note above it. And again, like I said, I listened to it, but it's kind of hard to tell when or where he does it. But if it were me, I'd probably be doing something like that. So let me show you on the A. So you're going to go A, low E string, then on your D string with the little palm muting. So you have this. Then when you go to the D, I do the same thing. Same thing on the B. Notice how I'm doing the bass with my second finger. So that gives you a really cool sound. Okay, so that's really cool. Something that I really haven't experimented around with too much myself. So that's definitely something to have in your bag of tricks, and you'll just have to play around with that. This lesson is kind of hard to just break it in to do it exactly like this, because like I said, go online and go on YouTube and listen. And like the 3 different versions I listened to were all different. So kind of take the bits and pieces that you like. I seen one where they did this. So instead of doing this, they did the minor third. And they were doing this on the B. So the walk-ups, again, that's just kind of coming from the major scale. So in the key of E, if you do like an E major scale, so those are just the three notes of the major scale. That's all that is. And when you're in the key of A, those are the first 3 notes of your major scale in A, and then on D, the 3 first notes of the D major scale. But you can see how symmetrical it is. So on A, you go into the D, so practice that like anytime you do a new song, like say for example, okay, so that's just a typical, like anything like you're doing like in the key of A or D, try putting those little walk-ups and walk-downs in there. Okay, so another thing that they did that I liked when they did when they go into the key of A. So this will be the second verse. The guitar player does that little riff there. And then let's see, that was one cool part that they did. And then the other thing on the very end, and when we does the very last verse, so that's how they end. I would end it with a 6/0. I like that. So. And it sounds good because they're playing it way faster than I am, because the actual tempo is somewhere like this. Okay, so that's a cool little ending you can put in that song. And yeah, you could even do palm muting too. if you wanted to. You could do so many different strum patterns you could do on this. This palm muting thing is I'm just kind of like, as I come down, I'm palm muting at the same time. Hear how you get that nice tone? So I really don't care if I hit or miss a string. No one will ever notice. Or you could do it this way too. So again, you're just taking, just like you're doing a karate chop, and you want to get it right on the right on top of your bridge. Okay, if you get too high up like this, it'll start getting sharp. And now this has its purpose. You know, when you're doing just sometimes you just want, like you're doing, if you want that effect, that's fine. Do it like this, okay? But when you're doing palm muting, you want the flush of your hand right there on top of that bridge. This one here takes a little bit of practice. It's not necessarily in this song, but probably worth showing here. Okay. If this is giving you a hard time, just do it in one key. I would say, like, if you're a very, very beginner, do the song, just stay in the key of A at first, and just get those walk downs under your fingers. See, so you could totally do it in the key of A if you just did it that way. It might not be quite as exciting, you know, it might get a little bit boring. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if maybe that's why they did the key changes, because it's a pretty simple melody. But I shouldn't say that, because the song itself is pretty genius. Even when you look at the lyrics, it's so well written. So if you put the capo on the first fret, I'll kind of show you what it sounds like there. Much the same thing. I just think when you play it open, especially if you're a beginner, it will help you more with your walk-ups and your walk-downs, and you'll see how you can use that in other songs pretty quickly. I'm going to see if I can take you all the way through this song before we go out, okay? So we can kind of maybe pull all this together, okay? So we're going to start off with the intro. Second verse. Very, very easy to be true. Now we're walking to the D. Last verse is just the first verse repeated. I keep this on mind. Sorry, I'm going too fast. Because you're mine, I walk the line. Okay, so that's kind of the whole playthrough, and again, like, put your own twist on it. Do the walk ups and the walk downs to, you know, to where you want them to be. I don't think there's really a right or wrong. Just some of them sound better than others, but you know, it's all good. So I think that that's just about it on this one, folks. So yeah, like I said, just practice doing this in some of your other country tunes, or it doesn't have to be a country tune. It can be blues too. It's like just fun walking up and walking down on blues songs. So, anyways, thanks so much for watching, and please like it. You know, if you enjoyed this or if you've got something from this, please like and feel free to leave a comment and subscribe and all that stuff. I would really, really appreciate it. And thanks again, and we will see you on the next video. Okay, bye-bye.